Hey, welcome back to the Springs Radio Real Estate Show. I'm Cheryl Garlock with Colorado Front Range Properties, and I am so glad you can join us on the show here today. My guest today in the studio is Martin Burlingame with Burlingame Insurance. Martin, thank you so very much for joining us.
Thank you very much for having me.
I always enjoy having you on the show here. Now, you know, we are experiencing, I'm sure your office is going through a plethora of phone calls here, people filing claims, and because we've had a lot of claims.
Yes, there's been a lot of valid claims out there, and there's a lot of people who tend to use their policies thinking it's a warranty type product.
You know that, gosh, I find the same thing sometimes when we have landlord-tenant situations there. It's similar type of situation there. They think that we're a hotel.
Right. If you clog the toilet, unclog it.
Yeah.
Right? I mean,
they forget to read that part of the lease agreement, you know. But, you know, it is true. A lot of times I think people are thinking that they're, you know, something goes wrong with the house, I'll just call my insurance company and file a claim and then go fix it. That has severe repercussions.
Well, we've talked about the clue report before. It affects, especially in your profession, it affects you buying a house as well. It'll pull right from your and your spouse's social security numbers right over. So it can impact your insurance on the purchase of a new house, even if it's had no claims.
You know, and that's interesting because on that clue report, it trails not just you as the owner, but it trails the property.
It does.
And so if a particular property has had a history of a lot of claims, the insurance companies are going to pick that up when they get ready to go make a quote.
And we've seen it where they've asked for proof that the damages have been repaired.
Yes, absolutely. And especially, you know, because not always does the check get made out to the individual, but sometimes, and some of those smaller claims, it probably does. A roof, I don't think it does.
No, it does. I mean, we just had a roof replacement. We had a total claim on one of the my commercial building, and where my office is, and they sent us the check, the depreciated check, and we just submitted the claim. So that was $14,000 claim. I mean, and it got pounded. It happens, and that's what your claim's for. It's why you buy insurance.
Well, so let's go back to that again here, because about why you do buy insurance. Because I got an article about from the folks at Realty Times on ignoring insurance risk can be costly. And so, like we said, people sometimes just pick up the phone. Oh, you got a problem? Call your insurance agent.
Right.
And you know what? I got to tell you, my understanding is you can't really do, or you can, but you really shouldn't if you just want to even talk to them. Should I talk to you about maybe something happened in my house here? Make sure that you know what it's going to cost you first before you make that phone call. How's that work?
I mean, the problem is once you call the agent, I mean, there's a responsibility to file a claim from all sides. So once you call the agent, I mean, they can advise you, but in theory, you're supposed to report the claim. I mean, the insurance agent is a representative of the company or representing whatever company they're selling the policy for.
Right.
And if you're reporting a bunch of stuff saying, should I file, should I file, should I file, I mean, you're incurring potential damage to the house. So my recommendation typically is go get an appraisal to fix the stuff before you call in.
Get a cost estimate.
Get a cost estimate before you decide to file the claim, before you call your insurance agency. Just figure out what it costs to do. I mean, some of the stuff is just wear and tear on your house.
Right.
And we see that a lot. We'll get clients calling us up who have been canceled by whatever insurance company they have, and they'll have 7, 8, 9 claims, of which most of them are zero payout, because it's been under the deductible, or they're, $100 or $75 because they're just over the deductible.
Well, you know, it's funny that you should say that, because my sister-in-law just went ahead and experienced that with another company here, and she had, I'm not kidding you, only 2 claims in like a 2 to 3 year period that totaled only $2,300. So you guys, you know, this was not a roof deal, okay?
Right.
This was these were minor
little claims.
Right. And sometimes, you know, if you're the home owner or property owner of the property and it looks like you're kind of like negligent, it's not going to look too good for you for a cancellation issue.
Well, I mean, if you think about the person you're just talking about there, the total claims there were probably $4,300 with the deductibles.
Yeah.
So from the insurance company's perspective, over a 4 or 5 year period, her premium was $800 to $1,000. They've lost money on that particular. Now, insurance is an amalgamation of risk across a huge spectrum of people. It's not insuring you particularly, but there's a lot of people filing all kinds of. I mean, we see where they'll have 7 wind claims. Every time the wind picks up, they call in because they want a new roof. Well, okay. That's great, except that now instead of paying $1,000 or $1,500 for insurance or $2,000, they're paying $6,000, and it's required by the mortgage company. And if you don't buy it through one of these other companies, the mortgage company will force insurance, and it'll cost you $14,000 because they're even more expensive.
Oh,
and that's an expensive mistake.
That is an expensive mistake. So you really want to make sure that when you get ready to have a claim, you know, that you really think through the process here first. Should I call my insurance agent, or maybe I should go ahead and get that other contractor out here to give me a bid, give me an estimate on it first, and
Sure.
then go from there. And now, how would you think you would handle, let's say somebody's got a water leakage in their home?
Well, the pipe isn't fixed. I mean, the damage it causes inside your home is one thing, right? Mold is a really bad thing.
Right.
I mean, those are the kind of claims you really need to take a look at and fix. I mean, but again, if you have a washer and dryer and the spigot is leaking a little bit on the washer, it's probably wear and tear, which is not covered by your insurance policy. It's just old. You need to fix it. Mm-hmm. We get claims where people, the window blow down for the fence, a little portion of the fence.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, you can file a claim, but it's not going to cover it. It's going to be under the deductible, and you probably need to go out there and dig the hole and pour some cement and put the post for the fence back up. Yeah, but it's been years since you fixed it.
Right, but now if they have, like, say, water coming into their basement there, first of all, you're going to have to call a contractor anyway.
Correct.
Somebody get out there to fix it and to stop the act anyway.
Well, you have a responsibility as a homeowner to mitigate the damage as quickly as possible.
As quickly as possible. That should really be your first call anyway.
That should be, right? I mean, so if a pipe bursts in the house, your first concept should not be to call the insurance company to find out if I have coverage. You should be calling a contractor to fix what's going on so that you don't have 4 feet of water. Right?
Absolutely.
I mean, you know, you fix the problem or start the problem. The contractor, as long as they're licensed and got insurance, they're going to file the damage and take pictures. Then once the contractor's there fixing it, you call the insurance company and file the claim.
You know, and so real quick, I want to just also mention that when you're thinking about buying the home there, one of the things that I think insurance agents and companies really look at is like their location of the property. Like, are you in a floodplain? That's a big deal. We all know about that. Most of us anyway. And then also, how close are you in proximity to a fire station?
Yes, those are both important. Those affect your fire protection and your flood.
Right. And also, I understand that different fire stations have different ratings.
Is
that right?
They all file based on their ability to respond within a certain time.
So that can affect your
And that's a score
premium.
of 1 to 10.
Okay.
And Colorado Springs as a whole is a 2. Which is very good. Rarely do you have a 1. That would be like Cleveland, Ohio, or Chicago downtown.
Wow.
Most of us are 2s, and 10 being there's nobody can respond, and you're 10 miles away and nobody can find you or respond.
Wow, we have so much more to share with you here. You need to give us a call, 719-321-7600. We're going to answer